Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, audience. It is another day for some academic violence. And I especially welcome you all to the day. Now, this is the second or the third quarterfinal contest, Tertiary Business Science Challenge 2024 Southeast Zone. Two quarterfinal contests have gone down the line, with the Central University and the University of Ghana qualifying to the semi-final stage. One school from this contest will join those two schools at that stage. That school can either be the West End University College or the Pentecost University. One of these two schools will qualify to make history. And by winning this contest, that school will automatically qualify to represent the zone also at the national level. So there is two things at stake. First, to qualify to the semi-final for the zone, and secondly, a place at the national championship. A lot more is at stake, ladies and gentlemen. The Tertiary Business Science Challenge is brought to us by Graphic Business and Partnership with the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana and the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission. Our media partners are TV3 Daily Graphic and Graphic Online. Our sponsors, MTN Compi Ghana, PwC Glyco Life, as well as the Ghana National Association of Teachers. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome once again. Now, West End University College, they are at this stage for the very first time. Indeed, this is their maiden appearance on the hot seat. That is the Tertiary Business Science Challenge stage. But they qualified to this stage by virtue of being one of the best losing schools from the preliminary round. Indeed, they want more. They want to go further than they've gotten to. And they look poised to do that. And they have indicated to me that they want to qualify to the semi-final stage as well as the national championship. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our contestants from the West End University College to take their seat to my left. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
You're welcome on stage.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Speak into the microphone. Got it close? Yes. All right. So you are here again.
Yes, please.
Okay. Now, in your maiden contest, you lost narrowly against Heritage Christian University College, and I believe you want to make amends. How has the preparation been like for this particular one?
Yeah, so far so good. We learned from our previous where we got to, and we want to, proceed just as we said. So let's put some boosts together, and we'll be able to prepare ourselves one way or the other, even though there's short notice.
Okay. Please introduce yourselves.
My name is Benjamin Oshitete, accounting level 300.
My name is Edinam Gasika, Human Resource Management level 300.
And my name is Akinwumi Oladile, Computer Science level 300.
You are welcome once again.
Thank you.
All right. Now, West End University College is competing against the Pentecost University. Pentecost University are here by virtue of beating the Valley View University at the preliminary stage. The last year they were at the semi-final stage. This year they want to get to the semi-final stage as well as the national championship. They are poised to do that, but they will have to beat West End to be able to get to that stage. Indeed, I believe they are ready for this contest. Contestants from the Pentecost University, please take your seats to my right. Gentlemen, you are welcome.
Thank you.
In your first contest for this zone, you defeated Valley View University. This morning you come up against another opponent, the West End University College. How has the preparation been like?
So far, so good.
What should we expect from you today?
Well, so Mr. Joshua once said that a direction or a journey without a direction is just a mere work of an exercise. And the Bible tells us in Psalms chapter 3, verse 5 to 6 that we should trust in the Lord with all our understanding and we should not lean on our own strength. And in everything, if we commit our ways to Him, He will make our path right. And so we are going to make our path right today.
Please introduce yourselves.
Okay, so I'm George Ebokobina, BSc Accounting, final year.
Manku Alfred, accounting, final year.
Emmanuel McCarthy, logistics, final year.
You are welcome once again.
Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, our contestants are seated. They've quoted verses and they indicate that they are ready for this contest. I believe you are all ready as well. If you are ready, let's show some love to them on stage. So, ladies and gentlemen, our contestants are seated and ready for the contest ahead. A place at the semi-final stage is at stake. A place at the national championship is at stake. It promises to be exciting. There can be only one winner. My name is Al Hassan Yusuf Traule, and I love academic violence. Let the violence begin. So the contest is going to be organized in 5 rounds. Round 1 is on theory to test your understanding of some principles and concepts in business. Round 2 will involve calculations. Round 3 is a business case of the day. The 4th round, we have the graphic business segment as well as the true or false segment. The 5th and final round will be the riddles. Please, are we ready? Okay, if you are ready, we begin with round 1. We are going to start from Pentecost University. Now, this is the theory round. I'm going to ask each of you 5 major questions. If you get your major question correct, that is 3 points. If it's a bonus question, that is 1 point. You have 10 seconds within which to give me an answer for a major question and 5 seconds for a bonus question. Please, are we okay? All right. So, Pentecost University. The principle of insurance that states that you must take all the necessary steps and precautions to prevent a loss or to limit the loss when it happens is known as the principle of insurance that states that you must take all the necessary steps and precautions to prevent a loss or to limit the loss when it happens is known as You've been bailed out. Bonus for West End University. You've also been bailed out. It is known as a principle of loss minimization. Principle of loss minimization. West End University College, your major question. The principle of insurance, which states that while calculating the claim for a loss, the cause which is the closest and the main reason for a loss should be considered. The principle of insurance, which states that while calculating the claim for a loss, the cause which is the closest and the main reason for a loss should be considered, is known as
Insurable interest.
no. You've been bailed out. Bonus for Pentecost University.
Principles of close proximity. Principle of close proximity.
No, for a bonus, I won't take that. You are close, but for a bonus, I won't take that. Principle of proximate cause. Principle of proximate cause. No, for a bonus, I won't take that. Now your major question, Pentecost University. Explain the concept of staff organization. Staff organization. Explain that concept.
So with staff organization, staff organization talks about the arrangements, the assignments, and then the execution of duties in an organized form or in an organized manner.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. West End, explain the concept of functional organization. Explain the concept of functional organization.
Functional organization has to do with each department each department being going according to a division of labor, having
bonus for Pentecost University.
So functional organization is the arrangement of personnel and then the allocation of duties based on functions. That is, segmentation of the works is done according to functions.
I'll accept that. For our next set of questions, we begin from West End University College. West End. What is the term for a contract that allows the buyer to purchase an asset at a specified price before a certain date, but the seller has no obligation to sell the asset? What is the name for a contract that allows the buyer to purchase an asset at a specified price before a certain date, but the seller has no obligation to sell the asset?
Hire purchase.
No. One other chance.
Mortgage.
It is not a mortgage. Bonus for Pentecost University.
Future contract.
No, what I want is a call option. It's an option, a call option. Now your major question, Pentecost University. A financial agreement where 2 parties exchange cash flows in different currencies, but only the interest payments are exchanged is called a financial agreement where 2 parties exchange cash flows in different currencies, but only the interest payments are exchanged is called
Foreign exchange.
no.
International trade.
That is also not correct. You've exhausted your chances. Bonus for West End. It is called a cross-currency swap or a cross-currency interest rate swap. Now your major question, West End University. What term describes the knowledge that includes formal training and standardized procedures which can be systematically transferred? We have different types of knowledge. So what term describes the knowledge that includes formal training and standardized procedures which can be systematically transferred?
Formal education.
No. Even bailed out. Pentecost University.
Explicit knowledge.
That is correct. Explicit knowledge is correct. And now your major question. Knowledge that is gained through direct personal experience and is often difficult to articulate or document is known as knowledge that is gained through direct personal experience and is often difficult to articulate or document is known as
Tacit knowledge.
That is correct. We have our last set of questions for this round. We are starting with Pentecost this time, but it's a common preamble. Now, for each of the following statements I'm going to read out to you, you have to identify the component of faithful representation of financial information that is being referred to. You know of faithful representation. There are various components of faithful representation. Okay, so for the statement I'll read to you, identify the components of faithful representation that I'm speaking to. Beginning with Pentecost University. Pentecost. Revenue should be reported as earned without inflating figures to make the entity appear more profitable than it is. Revenue should be reported as earned without inflating figures to make the entity appear more profitable than it is.
Reliability.
No.
Transparency.
No, please. Bonus for West End.
Integrity.
That is not correct. It is known as neutrality or objectivity. Neutrality or objectivity. Now, yours, West End University. If a company has outstanding liabilities, all such liabilities should be reported, not just a portion of them. If a company has outstanding liabilities, all such liabilities should be reported, not just a portion of them.
Completeness.
That is correct. Completeness is correct. There are three main elements or components of faithful representation. We have completeness, we have neutrality or objectivity, and the last one is free from material error. On that note, we come to the end of round one. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the third quarterfinal contest. It is between West End University College and the Pentecost University. A place at the semi-final for the Southeast Zone is at stake. One of these two schools, the winner, will automatically qualify to that stage. We will see how this contest will go. At the end of round one, do we have our scores? Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round one, West End University College has 3 points. Pentecost University had 7 points. We are going into round two, which will involve calculations. You are free to use your calculators. Now, in this round, each of you have the opportunity of answering 5 major questions, just like the round one. For a major question, you have 30 seconds within which to give an answer. If it's a bonus, you have just 5 seconds. Major question, you have 3 points if you get it correct. If it's a bonus, you have just 1 point. Please, are we ready? This time we begin from West End University College. West End University College. Graphic Communications Group. Their budgeted sales for the year was 1 million cedis. The sales mix is 40% of product X, which is at 100 cedis per unit, and 60% of product Y, which is 80 cedis per unit. You have to calculate the weighted average selling price per unit. I take it again. Graphic Communications budgeted sales for the year are 1 million cedis. The sales mix is 40% of product X, which is at 100 cedis per unit, and 60% of product Y, which is 80 cedis per unit. Calculate the weighted average selling price per unit. West End. You will mailed out bonus for Pentecost University. The answer I'm looking for is 86.96. 86.96. Now your major question, Pentecost University. Glycolife sells 2 types of products, A and B. The budgeted sales for the year are 800,000 cedis. Product A sells for 120 cedis per unit and accounts for 30% of total sales. Product B sells for 80 cedis per unit and accounts for 70% of total sales. Calculate the weighted average selling price per unit. I take it again. Glycolife sells two types of products, A and B. The budgeted sales for the year are 800,000 cedis. Product A sells for 120 cedis per unit and accounts for 30% of total sales. Product B sells for 80 cedis per unit and accounts for 70% of the total sales. Your duty is to calculate the weighted average selling price per unit. Pentecost University.
92.
No.
46.
Definitely not correct. You've exhausted your two chances. Bonus for West End University College.
Hundred cities.
No. It is 88.89. 88.89. Next set of questions, still beginning with West End University College. A firm's total cost function is TC equals 1000 plus 5 kil plus 0.1 kil squared. Calculate the firm's total cost and marginal cost when producing 100 units. A firm's total cost function is TC equals 1000 plus 5 kil plus 0.1 kil squared. Calculate the firm's total cost and marginal cost when producing 100 units. You haven't bailed out. Bonus for Pentecost University.
So we have the total cost to be 2,500 and the marginal cost to be 25.
That is correct. And now your major question, Pentecost University. A firm's total cost function is TC equals 2,000 plus 8 kil plus 0.15 kil squared. Calculate the firm's total cost and marginal cost when producing 150 units. A firm's total cost function is TC equals 2,000 plus 8 kil plus 0.15 kil squared. Calculate the firm's total cost and marginal cost when producing 150 units.
So we have the total cost to be 6,575 and the marginal cost to be 53.
That is correct. Next set of questions, this time we are beginning with Pentecost University. Pentecost. Calculate the profit distribution between a capital provider and an entrepreneur in a Mudaraba arrangement where the entrepreneur invests 100,000 cedis and generates a profit of 30,000 cedis. The profit sharing ratio is 70% for the entrepreneur and 30% for the capital provider. I take it again. Calculate the profit distribution between a capital provider and entrepreneur in a Mudaraba arrangement where the entrepreneur invests 100,000 cedis and generates a profit of 30,000 cedis. The profit sharing ratio is 70% for the entrepreneur and 30% for the capital provider.
So we have the profit distribution to be 42,857.14.
That is not correct. You've been bailed out. Bonus for West End University.
The profits for the entrepreneur is 21,000, and for the 30% is 9,000.
That is correct. Now your major question, West End University. Calculate the profit distribution for Sukuk holders based on profit generated by underlying assets. If the Sukuk holders invested 1 million in a project that generated 150,000 cedis profit, and the profit sharing ratio is 70% for Sukuk holders and 30% for the project sponsor. I take it again. Calculate the profit distribution for Sukuk holders based on profit generated by underlying assets. If the Sukuk holders invested 1 million in a project that generated 150,000 profit, and the profit sharing ratio is 70% for Sukuk holders and 30% for the project sponsor.
So the 70% profit share will be 105,000 cedis, and for the 30% will be 45,000.
That is correct. So there was no trick to the question. It was just profit sharing ratio. The other variables were just added to confuse you. All right. Next set of questions, still beginning with Pentecost University. A company produces a product with an annual demand of 50,000 units. The setup cost per production run is 1,000 cedis, and the holding cost per unit per year is 2 cedis. Calculate the optimal batch size that minimizes total inventory cost and the total cost. A company produces a product with an annual demand of 50,000 units. The setup cost per production run is 1,000 cedis, and the holding cost per unit per year is 2 cedis. Calculate the optimal batch size that minimizes total inventory cost and the total cost. Pentecost University.
So we have the optimal batch size to be 7,071.07.
Two out of three. The question was in two parts. Next question to West End University. A company manufactures a product with an annual demand of 80,000 units. The setup cost per production run is 1,500 cedis, and the holding cost per unit per year is 3 cedis. Calculate the optimal batch size that minimizes total inventory cost and the total cost. A company manufactures a product with an annual demand of 80,000 units. The setup cost per production run is 1,500 cedis, and the holding cost per unit per year is 3 cedis. Calculate the optimal batch size that minimizes the total inventory cost and the total cost. You've been bailed out. Bonus for Pentecost University.
So we have the optimal bus size to be 8,944.27 and the total cost to be 26,832.82.
That is correct. Our last set of questions for this round, beginning with West End University College. West End. PwC acquired office equipment at the beginning of 2020 costing 450,000 cedis. Compute the capital allowance PwC is entitled to in respect of office equipment for the first 3 years. PwC Limited acquired office equipment at the beginning of 2020 costing 450,000 cedis. Compute the capital allowance PwC is entitled to in respect of office equipment for the first 3 years.
So it is 150,000 per year.
That is not correct. You've been bailed out. Bonus for Pentecost University.
For the first 3 years, we have 219,600.
Give me for, I want it for individual years.
Okay, so for the first year is 90,000, second year is 72,000, and the third year is 57,600.
That is correct. And now your major question, Pentecost University. CompuGhana acquired some earth moving equipment for their dredging works at the beginning of 2020 costing 980,000 cedis. Compute the capital allowance CompuGhana is entitled to in respect of the earth moving equipment for each of the first 3 years. CompuGhana Limited acquired some earth moving equipment for their dredging works at the beginning of 2020 costing 980,000 cedis. Compute the capital allowance that CompuGhana is entitled to in respect of the earth moving equipment for each of the first 3 years.
So we have the capital allowance for the first year to be 294,000. For the second year is 205,800, and for the third year is 144,060.
Certainly, that is correct. And on that note, we come to the end of round 2. Please give it up for them. Give it up, give it up, give it up. So we have 4 more rounds to go. We still have the business case. We still have the true or false segment, the graphic business, as well as the riddles. But before then, West End University, how are you going by the contest? How is it going for you?
Okay, gradually we are coming. We're picking up.
You pick it up. Let's see how it goes. Pentecost University, how is it going for you?
Still maintaining the composure.
All right, so let's take our results for round 2. Round 2, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round 2, West End University College had 4 points. Pentecost University had 11 points. We are going into round 3, which is the business case of the day. Now, in this round, both schools are presented with a common problem. They are supposed to work together and submit their solution for evaluation. This will be compared with what we have and marks awarded out of 10. They have 10 minutes within which to bring out their solution. Please, you may pick up your problem and let's read it together. It is a problem on finance, specifically related to business finance. So we take it again. Very simple and straightforward. It is divided into 2 parts. The question reads: explain the following different types of capital that companies can use for financing. 1. Equity capital. 2. Debt capital. 3. Retained earnings. The second part of the question says, identify 3 advantages and 2 advantages of the above listed as source of business finance. That is their business case of the day. They may start work now. You have 10 minutes. please stop work and submit what you have. Okay, thank you very much. So we gave both schools a common problem, something on sources of financing for a business. Essentially, they were to explain some three sources of funding for a business: equity capital or equity financing, debt capital, as well as retained earnings. And the second part of the question was for them to give three advantages and two disadvantages of each of those methods that were identified. Three advantages and two disadvantages. So let's look at what we were expecting. Essentially, not so much, because these are things that we expect them to know. So for equity capital, generally some funding that is raised in exchange for part ownership of a company. And this is normally done by issuing shares or stock to investors. Once you're able to explain it in any way, you have 1 point. Debt capital is mostly from external parties. Loans that are contracted from people who are not owners of the organization. If you explain this, you have 0.5. Retained earnings, on the other hand, is a portion of the company's net income that is retained or plowed back for the purpose of building or growing the organization, or reinvested into the business. You explain this, you have 1 point. So for the explanation, I expect them to get 2.5 there. Now, for advantages and disadvantages. For equity capital, the fact that you have no obligation to repay, the fact that you can share risk because there are so many other owners, and as well as increased credibility. There are many other advantages that you can mention, but these are just a few of them. In terms of disadvantages, there is a dilution of ownership. It also comes with a higher cost of capital as compared to debt sometimes. These are also not exhaustive. You may add on to it as well. So if you mention 3 advantages, each of them go for 0.5. So the 3 will be 1.5. Disadvantages, 0.5 each. That should also give you 1. So for equity capital, I expect you to give, for advantages and disadvantages, 2.5. Debt capital, some of the advantages are the tax benefit that it comes with, retained ownership, the fact that there's also a fixed obligation. In terms of disadvantages, the fact that you need to repay, repayment obligation, the risk of default, and many other disadvantages. Here also 2.5 if you mention the 3 advantages and then the 2 disadvantages. Retained earnings. No cost of capital is required. There's also autonomy, and then no ownership is diluted. Some of the disadvantages are the fact that it's limited in its availability, as well as opportunity cost, because you could have invested that money elsewhere. This should also give us 2.5. So in all, that should give us 10 marks. Now let's look at what our institutions did, beginning from West End University College. West End said equity capital refers to the total amount of securities of a company which are entitled to be issued to the public to generate capital. It's fine. The idea is there, so that is accepted. Debt capital refers to capital companies sought for to finance their operations from outside. Example, loans. That's fine. 0.5. Retained earnings refer to reserved profits, internally generated funds that a company uses to finance its operations. Yes, the fact that you mentioned reserved profits, I'll accept that. So the 2.5 marks are clear. Advantages. For equity capital, you wrote access to funding. Yes, a funding source, business expansion, and then it is also easy to ascertain or get. That's fine. I'll accept that. Or assess fairly. That's fine. For disadvantages, you mentioned 2, loss of valuable assets. I'm not sure what that means. What do you mean by loss of valuable assets?
The parts where it's given up for funds could be
Okay.
lost when payment is not made on time.
That's fine, no problem. As well as cost intensive, I'll accept that. So 2.5. In terms of debt capital, you provided only 2 advantages instead of the 3. So that is 1 mark. Disadvantages, bankruptcy, bureaucracy. Those 2 are also correct. So that is 2 points for debt capital. Now, retained earnings, you mentioned 2 advantages instead of 3. Easy to obtain, and then no pressure from debtors or creditors. That's accepted. But disadvantages, you mentioned just 1. May lead to delay of dividend. So 1.5. For your effort, this is 3.5, this is 5. You have 8.5 out of 10. Pentecost University. Equity capital, you write that it refers to finance raised by the owners of the company. That's fine, accepted. Debt capital refers to the finance raised by the external owners or people or institutions other than the owners of the company. I want to understand what you mean by external owners other than owners. What do you mean by that? You write external owners and then you come and say other than owners. Do you have external owners and internal owners?
So we're referring to the external people, external stakeholders. People who are not shareholders.
Speak into the microphone.
People who are not shareholders, but they are external people, like the financial institution giving loans, and then some people the benches. Those.
That's fine. It's okay. Retained earnings refer to the portion of profit undisbursed and plowed back to the company. That's also accepted. Advantages: equity, you mentioned 3, minimizes financial interest to be paid, reduces leverage, easily accessible since it can be raised from owners, that's fine. And in terms of the disadvantages, you mentioned 2, not enough for the business if the business wants to expand. Payment of dividend reduces net income, that's accepted. Debt capital, instead of writing 3 advantages, you wrote only 2. So you don't get the full marks there. You have 1 out of the 1.5. Disadvantages, you mentioned 2, increases leverage. It is not easily accessible, that's also accepted. Retained earnings, advantages, you mentioned the 3, it is easily accessible, does not come with interest payment, decision making is easy, that's fine. Disadvantages, increases dividend to be paid, it is not enough to rely on, that is also fine. Now for your effort, you get 9.5 out of 10. So at the end of round 3, West End University College had 8.5. Pentecost University had 9.5. We are going into round 4. The schools who want to effect some substitution. Pentecost University want to effect a substitution. Gentlemen, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Speak into the microphone. We are talking. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Bernard Abeka, BSc Accounting, final year.
All right, you're welcome, Abeka.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so we are going into the graphic business segment. Now, in this round, I'm going to ask you questions from some stories that appeared in the graphic business newspaper. For the purpose of this contest, we are examining you on stories that appeared in the 23rd and 30th July editions as well as the 6th August edition. Please, are we ready? Each of you have the opportunity of answering 5 major questions. If you get your major question correct, that is 3 points. If it's a bonus question, you have 1 point. 2 attempts only at a major question unless otherwise indicated. For a bonus, you have just 1 attempt. If we are ready, we go straight into round 4A. Common preamble to both schools. We are beginning with West End University College, but it's a common preamble. Now, a labor economist at the Ghana Statistical Service, Anthony Odro-Denchira, has proposed a number of policy directions which, when addressed, could help address the challenge of the large number of countries who are the country's youth who are completely idle. You are to identify any 2 of the measures each. I'll take it again. A labor economist at the Ghana Statistical Service, Anthony Odro-Denchira, has proposed a number of policy directions which, when addressed, could help to address the challenge of the large number of the country's youth who are completely idle. You are to identify and explain briefly any of the 2 measures he mentioned each, beginning with West End.
Homegrown policies.
Entrepreneurial skills training for the youth.
I'm not sure I'll take that. Pentecost University.
All right. So these are the policies. Government should invest into green, digital, and care economies, which has the potential of creating more employment for the youth. Then government should also invest into public education, such as TVET and vocational institutions.
That is accepted. West End University College. Your major question again. No, it was a preamble. Both have answered their questions. So we are going to the next set of questions. Next set of questions, beginning with Pentecost. Which two institutions organized a just ended housing fair at the Accra Mall? Which two institutions organized a just ended housing fair at the Accra Mall? You've been bailed out. Bonus for Pentecost University.
Grader. That is Ghana Real Estate Association. And then graphic business.
That is correct.
That was our question. It's okay, it's okay.
What? I mentioned West End. It was your major question. Please pay attention. Your major question, Pentecost University. Which two institutions are partnering to organize a technical stakeholders breakfast meeting on 7th, or which two institutions partnered to organize a technical stakeholders breakfast meeting on 7th August 2024?
Graphic business and ICG.
What is ICG?
ICAG.
No, that is not correct. I won't accept that. I won't. Bonus for West End.
Graphic business and graphic online.
It is Daily Graphic and World Food Program. Daily Graphic and the World Food Program. For our next set of questions, we are beginning with Pentecost University. Pentecost University. Now, at the opening ceremony of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, what is the name of the river on which the boat carrying the athletes rode on? At the opening ceremony of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, what is the name of the river on which the boat carrying the athletes rode on?
River Eiffel Serene.
Hey. I'll take that, please. Bonus for West End. Wow. I mentioned this yesterday, right? It's a Seine River. The Seine River. Now your major question, West End University. At the opening ceremony of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, where did the boat carrying the athletes head towards? At the opening ceremony of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, where did the boat carrying the athletes head towards?
It's the Eiffel Tower.
That is correct. The Eiffel Tower is correct. Next set of questions. Next set of questions, still beginning with Pentecost University. Pentecost. Now, what was the equity position of the bulk oil storage and transport company in 2021? What was the equity position of the bulk oil storage and transport company in 2021?
$25 billion Ghana cedis.
No. Bonus for West End.
3.7 billion.
That is also not correct. It was a negative position of 248 million. 248 million cedis. And now your major question, West End. You have to tell me the equity position of BOST. That is a bulk oil storage and transport company in 2023. The equity position of BOST in 2023. Bonus for Pentecost University?
148 million.
No, please. It is a positive of 277 million. And our last set of questions for this round, ladies and gentlemen, we begin from West End University College. Last set of questions. Common preamble to all schools. Common preamble. According to the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Daniel Ogbamitete, the green bonds enabled by the green bond guidelines will channel much needed capital into selected areas of the Ghanaian economy. You have to identify 2 of these sectors each. According to the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Daniel Ogbamitete, the green bonds that has been enabled by the green bond guidelines will channel much needed capital into selected areas of the Ghanaian economy. Your duty is to mention 2 of these sectors each, beginning from West End University College.
The service sector and finance sector.
I won't take that. You've exhausted your chance. You have the opportunity for your chance. Pentecost.
Agriculture sector and educational sector.
I won't accept that as well.
Transportation and agriculture.
That is not correct. The answers I was expecting: green infrastructure, water and waste management, affordable green housing, and centralized and distributed renewable energy. And on that note, we come to the end of round 4A. Please show some love to them. We have 2 final rounds to go: the true or false segment and the riddle segment. How is it going for you, West End? Are we still on track?
Yes, we are still on track.
Yes. Are we on track, Pentecost?
Yes, please.
Okay. At the end of round 4A, the scores. West End University College had 3 points. Pentecost University had 4 points. We have true or false segment coming up next. Now in this round, I'm going to read out some statement to you. Just tell me if the statement is true or false. If your answer is correct, you have 2 points. If it is wrong, -1. You can decide not to answer, in which case we can pass it on to the other school under the same conditions. You have 10 seconds within which to give me an answer. There is no bonus here unless the other school doesn't answer. Please, are we ready? 5 major questions each. This time we are beginning from the Pentecost University. Pentecost, are you ready?
Yes, please.
Once a contract made by a minor has been effectively ratified, it cannot be affirmed. True or false? Once a contract made by a minor has been effectively ratified, it cannot be affirmed. True or false?
True.
No. West End University. Contract made between minors and adults are binding on adults but not on minors. True or false? Contract between minors and adults are binding on adults but not on the minors. True or false?
It's true.
That is correct. Pentecost. A well-crafted vision statement provides specific details about how the organization plans to achieve its long-term goals. True or false? A well-crafted vision statement provides specific details about how the organization plans to achieve its long-term goals. True or false?
False.
That is correct. West End University. Vision statements are typically shorter and more specific than mission statements. True or false? Vision statements are typically shorter and more specific than mission statements. True or false?
False.
That is correct. Next set will begin from West End University. West End University College. Price floor set below equilibrium price result in surplus, while price floor set above equilibrium price result in shortage. True or false? A price floor that is set below equilibrium price will result in surplus, while a price floor set above equilibrium price will result in
It's
shortage.
true.
What?
True.
No. Pentecost University. Price controls such as price floors and price ceilings are effective in maintaining market equilibrium. True or false? Price controls such as price floors and price ceilings are effective in maintaining market equilibrium. True or false? You've been bailed out. Do you want to take the bonus? Do you want to take it? We don't repeat questions here. Next set of questions beginning with West End University College. West End. The cost of equity is generally lower than the cost of debt for most companies. True or false? The cost of equity is generally lower than the cost of debt for most companies. True or false?
True.
No, please. Pentecost University. The cost of equity is typically higher for companies with higher levels of financial leverage. True or false? The cost of equity is typically higher for companies with higher levels of financial leverage. True or false?
It's false.
No, please. And now our last set of questions for this round. Last set of questions, beginning with Pentecost University. Pentecost University. Random access memory is non-volatile memory, meaning it retains data even when the computer is turned off. True or false? Random access memory is non-volatile memory, meaning it retains data even when the computer is turned off. True or false?
It's false.
That is correct. And now to you, West End University. A hard disk drive is a type of solid state storage device used to store data permanently. True or false?
True.
No, please. It is always important that you take your time to listen to the question, analyze it before you answer. The answer is false, not true. And now we come to the end of round 4B. We have one more round to go, that is the riddles. One more round to go whilst we wait for the scores for round 4B. We are reminded that the next contest after this is a blockbuster one. Yes. It will be a contest between the Ghana Communication Technology University and the University of Professional Studies, Accra. Yes. That will be very interesting and cagey. All right. So let's go for the scores for round 4B. At the end of round 4B, West End University College had 1 point, Pentecost University had 2 points. We go to the last round, and that is the riddle segment. Now, in this round, I'm going to give you a set of clues. Your duty is to tell me who or what I am referring to. The clues or the riddles are open to both of you. You are supposed to indicate your readiness to answer by ringing a bell. Let me hear the bell from West End University. And that of Pentecost University. Now, when you ring your bell, you have a maximum of 10 seconds within which to give an answer. If you get the answer correct, depending on the number of clues given, you get 5 points. That is, if you answered on the first clue. Answering on the second clue is 4 points. Answering on any other clue thereafter is 3 points. If you get it wrong, you can no longer partake in that particular riddle. And if there are further clues, I'll read them to the hearing of the other school. There'll be 3 riddles in all. Please, are we okay? West End, are we okay?
Yes.
Pentecost, are we okay?
Yes.
Riddle number 1. Okay. I am a monetary policy tool used by countries with a fixed exchange rate or semi-fixed exchange rate. 2. I am an indication that the monetary authority will buy and sell foreign currency at a lower rate. 3. I help reduce the cost of a country's exports and can help shrink trade deficits. Governments use me to combat a trade imbalance and have exports exceed imports. 4. While I may be an option, I can have negative consequences, including increasing the price. West End University College.
Balance of payment.
No, that is not correct. You can no longer partake in this riddle. I continue. While I may be an option, I can have negative consequences, including increase the price of imports, protect domestic industries, increase in inflation, and increasing the cost of products and services over time. In macroeconomics and modern monetary policy, I am the deliberate downward adjustments of the value of a country's money relative to another currency or standard. Who am I? Pentecost University.
Tariffs.
What?
Tariffs.
Ebe. Currency devaluation. Devaluation. All right. Riddle number 2. Let's do something on IT. All right, let's go. 1. I am a type of computer software that is made available to users. 2. I may be developed in a collaborative public manner. I am a prominent example of open collaboration, meaning any capable user is able to participate online in development, making the number of possible contributors indefinite. 3. One of my explicit features is that Pentecost University.
End user development.
No, that is not correct. I continue for the benefit of West End University. One of my explicit features is that I put very few restrictions on the use or distribution by any organization or user in order to enable the rapid evolution of the software. 4. Some of my advantages include increasing the adoption of a standard or tool, lower cost of marketing and logistical services, the potential to quicken innovation and create social value. 5. I am a computer software that is released under a license in which the copyright holder grants users the right to use, study, change and distribute the software and its source code to anyone and for any purpose. Who am I? Open source is correct. They answered on the last clue. That is 3 points. 3 points. And now, our last riddle for the contest. I am the amount of time that passes from the start of a process until its conclusion. In manufacturing, I often represent the time it takes to create a product and deliver it to a consumer. 2. Companies review me in manufacturing, supply chain management, and project management during pre-processing, processing, and post-processing stages. 3. I am calculated by adding any combination of the number of days to procure materials, manufacture goods, and deliver finished products. 4. Reducing me can streamline operations and improve productivity, increasing output and revenue. By contrast, when I am longer, I negate West End University College.
Cost of production.
No, that is not correct. I continue for the benefit of Pentecost. By contrast, when I am longer, I negatively affect sales and manufacturing processes. In some cases, companies can improve me by implementing automated stock replenishment and just-in-time strategies. 5. Factors that can impact me include the lack of raw materials, breakdown of transportation, labor shortages, natural disasters, and human errors. Who am I? Pentecost University.
Lead time.
Indeed, you are the lead time, and that is correct. And on that note, we come to the end of the contest. Please give it up for them. So they answered on the last clue, and that is 3 points. Indeed, in this round, both schools scored 3 points because they all answered one riddle each. So we wait for the final scores to determine who won this contest and therefore who has progressed to join Central University and the University of Ghana at the semi-final stage. Before then, how do you assess the contest, West End University College? How has it been for you?
Quite intensive, but it's coming on this platform is a win for us.
All right, so maybe let me hear from all of you. How do you assess the contest generally?
Yeah, generally it has been very interesting and we think we did our best.
Okay.
So we are grateful to be here.
Yeah, it has been a win-win affair, and next time we'll come back strongly.
Have you accepted defeat already, even without seeing the final scores?
Sure. Yes, because we have our own calculations here,
Okay.
and figures don't lie.
The figures don't lie.
Yes.
All right. But what will you say to and about your opponents?
First we say a big congratulations to you guys, and we hope the subsequent competition they will do well. Because I'll be happy seeing somebody who evicted me go higher. So I wish them all the best.
Pentecost University, how do you assess the contest?
Thank you for the prophecy, my brother. it's been it's been good. It's been good, but viewing from the valley, it's been a nice contest. But we are sorry we've sent them to their west end.
Hey. Pentecost University. So, what do you make of your opponents?
I think they did very well. Maybe their preparation didn't show that much strength, but we are hoping that in the coming years they will come higher.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to see our final scores. All right. So, all too soon, the third quarterfinal contest for the Southeastern Zone between Pentecost University and the West End University has come to a successful end, with the final scores as follows. West End University College had 22.5, whilst Pentecost University had 36.5. Please give it up for them. Now, per this result, Pentecost University has qualified to the semi-final stage of the Southeast Zone. They get to join the Central University and the University of Ghana as the first three schools out of the quarterfinal stage to the semi-final stage. Congratulations to you, Pentecost University. West End University College, thank you so much for being part of this year's Tertiary Business Science Challenge. It was your maiden appearance, and indeed, you did well. You did not disgrace your school. You have shown that you have character. Despite the short notice, you made it, and you've done very well. So congratulations. Thank you very much for coming. So, ladies and gentlemen, on this note, thank you so much for being part of this contest. The next quarterfinal contest will be between the Ghana Communication Technology University and the University of Professional Studies, Accra. On behalf of the Graphic Communications Group, on behalf of Graphic Business, ICAG and GTech, on behalf of MTN, PwC, Glycolife, CompuGhana, and the Ghana National Association of Teachers, on behalf of TV3 Daily Graphic and the Graphic Online, my technical team, David Abel, Prosper Zuma, NSJC, Felix Tay, Elvis Douna, Hussein Zakari, Jacob Doku, Francis, Yvonne Ayi, Mr. Asare, and Emmanuel Amamo. Thank you so much, studio audience. Thank you so much for those of you who watch us from online for being part of this contest. We sign off whilst we prepare for the next contest between the Ghana Communication Technology University and the University of Professional Studies, Accra. My name is Al Hassan Yusuf Traore, and you know what? I love academic violence. I'll see you later. Bye-bye for now.
Source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies, The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News.